back to Hoops Empire. Today our topic is going to be what will the NBA look like in 5 years. So this is going to range from teams that I think will have better success, the top 5 players that I believe will be the top 5 players in 2025. I'll also be discussing the possible rule changes that could affect NBA ratings. By this I mean the mid-season tournament that the NBA is considering, as well as the postseason play-in tournament. So to start, we're going to do the 5 best teams that are poised for future success. At number 5, I have the Atlanta Hawks, with the emergence of Trae Young as a guy that can consistently give you 25 plus points with 10 assists, along with DeAndre Hunter, John Collins. I'm not sure if they're going to be real contenders, but I think that they'll be a lot better than the worst record in the NBA. The Hawks also have 8 first-rounders before 2023, so if they decide to put some more star talent around Trae and John, it's possible. Also, it's widely known in the NBA that people like Trae Young, and just that alone could possibly bring in big-name free agents because the Hawks have a lot of salary cap. At number 4, we're going to have the Philadelphia 76ers. At that point, Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid being in their prime, the Sixers will be poised to compete in the East for as long as they're here together. While I personally don't think that they are really the best, mesh of players, with neither of them really being exceptional shooters, the star power is enough nonetheless. Speaking that they re-sign him after his rookie contract, I think Thibault will be a great player for that team. I really like the effort that he gives on defense. I like that he's shooting a really good clip from 3, and while he could be, attempting more threes, I do think that the rate that he's hitting them right now is a positive sign for Sixers fans. As a Celtics fan, I actually kind of regret that we went through the trade, But on to the number 3 team, which is going to be the Dallas Mavericks. Luka is already looking like one of, if not the best player in the NBA, and he's in his 2nd year. So just imagine what it's going to be 5 years down the line when you could technically consider Luka a vet in his, 7th or 8th year. His straight-up ability to put up a 40-point triple-double any night that he wants to is something we haven't really seen before. And I think the Mavericks will be okay with just Luka. If Porzingis decides to continue his career with the Mavericks when his contract is up and they continue to be a duo playing through their primes together, I think that Luka will make Porzingis 10 times the player that he originally was going to be. And while Porzingis has been a bit disappointing, you have to give the guy some time. I mean, he didn't play basketball for about a year because of his injuries. And I also think that Dallas could turn into a free agent destination because of Luka. I think Luka has that sort of LeBron effect where he makes players better. He makes the guys around him better. At the 2nd spot, I have the Bucks. This is mainly because of Giannis. Just the player that Giannis is, he really develops his 3-point shot. You have to pretty much put him at the end of his career in, the top 15, possibly if he exceeds expectations, a top 10 player ever. The ability to just dominate games. There is no single player in the NBA that could even fathom covering Giannis. And at number 1, it may seem biased, but I have the Celtics. This year, even with other 20-plus point per game scorers in Kemba Walker and Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have just been on a tear. And while Jason Tatum still definitely needs to improve the field goal percentage and just really needs to clean up his game, he's coming into his stardom. I said it in my last video, if he just starts making some of the shots he's taking, not even attempting more shots, but just making some of the ones he's already taking, he could be at a 27, 28 point per game scorer. And with Jaylen Brown, you look at how improved his offensive game is and his defensive game. I mean, he really does look like a Kawhi or a Paul George 2.0, how they looked at that point in their career. He just looks like a mature player out there. And in 5 years, those players are also going to be considered vets. And I think in 5 years is the dead center of the prime for both of those players. So even if we were to lose Kemba Walker and Gordon Hayward or some other piece, I think we'd be fine with them at the helm. I think they're both going to be superstars with the way that they're playing now. And as we all know, Danny Ainge loves his draft picks, as you can see. So with all that said, there could be more moves to be made in the future. Okay, so moving on from the top 5 teams in the future, we're going to go to the top 5 players in 2025. So at number 5, I'm going to have Karl Anthony Towns. Look at it right now, he's averaging 27 and 12. He's shooting 42% from 3 on 7 attempts per game. He can stretch the floor probably better than any big man in the NBA right now, and he's already putting up MVP-type numbers. With the emergence of Wiggins as the player that he actually should be, I think that could be a pretty deadly duo for the next couple of years. And in 2025, when Cat's in his prime, they could possibly be in contention to make some playoff noise, depending on what the front office puts around Cat, because they need to build around him now. At number 4, I'm going to have Kawhi Leonard, because even in 2025, when Kawhi is 32, 33 years old, I think he's definitely one of those LeBron-type guys that values health and the longevity. He'll still be a top 5 player. And while he may be on the descent of his prime at that point, Kawhi's ability to play the game and understand the game and his defense and his leadership and his mentality, that's there to stay. At number 3, we're going to have Anthony Davis. What can you really say other than he's just one of the best players that the game's ever really going to see. His skill in shooting, in the post, by the rim, his rim protection, and just overall defense, because he is a pretty underrated perimeter defender. He can shuffle his feet faster than most big men I've seen. By that point in his career, he will have been under the wing of LeBron James for probably a couple years. A lot of guys don't get that opportunity. A lot of guys don't get to play with one of, if not the greatest player to ever play the game. Learn from that and adapt your game from that, and adapt not just on but off the court. As great as Anthony Davis is right now, in 5 years we're going to be talking about him with some of the greats. At number 2, I have Giannis. I touched on it before, talking about why the Bucks are still going to be good in 5 years, but it's just the level of dominance that Giannis shows. His size, length, athleticism, strength, combined with his skill in the post, his skill by the rim, and then not to even mention he's a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and I'm sure that he will end his career with a couple of those. And as of right now, already having won 1 MVP and could definitely very well be on his way to a second in a row, this is just the start of things for Giannis. And in 5 years, he will be at the best that, he's going to be. From now until then is the perfect opportunity for the Bucks to win the championship with no true star threat coming out of the East. He just really has, that loyalty that you just don't really get in the NBA anymore. He values winning a championship for the team that drafted him. A lot of guys get fed up with, the situation that they're in and leave and go chase rings. While it is becoming more and more common and less frowned upon, Giannis, he's true to his nature. He's not leaving Milwaukee until they win a championship, and I can guarantee you that. And at number 1 for the top 5 players in 2025 is Luka Doncic. I think Mark Jackson said it perfectly the other night during the Mavericks-Celtics game when he said that Luka is a combination of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. And, well, at first that may sound like a hefty comparison. Just think about it. I mean, Luka has the IQ and the passing ability and the height at the point guard position that Magic did. He has the, I don't care, I'm going to go drop a 40-point triple-double on you attitude that Larry Bird had. The mentality he has going into games. He's quiet, but then he goes out there and he just destroys you, completely dominates. He's putting up prime Oscar Robertson type numbers, and this isn't the end of the road for Luka. His leadership skills, his playoff experience, his overall ability is only going to be increased and improved over the next 5 years, because he looks like a seasoned vet out there playing, and he's in his second year, and he's putting up a 30-point triple-double per game. Leads the league in triple-doubles. Another topic I want to touch on is the ratings for the NBA, and if I think that they will continue decreasing as they are now, or maybe if we'll see a turnaround, because I think the NBA really needs that. And this is why I love Adam Silver. He's not like some of the other commissioners like Roger Goodell, who will just sit back and take criticism left and right. He'll make a difference if his fans want him to. If we bring up an issue we have with the NBA, tell me it isn't corrected by Adam Silver, or talked about at least by Adam Silver. He's a man of the people. He's a great commissioner. A lot of people have questions about the possible new changes to the NBA, referring to the mid-season tournament and also the postseason play-in tournament. To kind of give you a little rundown on that, the mid-season tournament would be a tournament around Thanksgiving, and all 30 teams play in it. Discussed possible reward from the mid-season tournament could be an extra draft pick, so this would warrant teams actually trying to win. And the other is the postseason play-in tournament, which involves the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th seeds from each respective conference. The 7 plays the 8, and the winner earns the 7th seed, and then the 9 plays the 10, and the winner of that game plays the loser of the 7-8 for the 8th spot. Like I said, this is why I love Adam Silver. A lot of people might not like these ideas, but I personally do. I think that they're going to bring more attention, and all publicity is good publicity. This allows more money to be made off bets, which is now allowed in the NBA, and the NBA is now making money off of it. And even if people don't like the idea of these tournaments, you're wrong if you think they're not going to watch them. People are still going to watch whatever the NBA puts out there. So adding new and intriguing concepts to the game is only going to be better, and I think that ratings will actually go up by 2025, even though they are seeing a pretty steep decline at the moment, nearly 20%. Alright, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. As you know, comment below for any ideas that you have for future videos, and within a week, the video will be posted. See you guys.